Hello Sew Tribe, you are welcome to Cut and Sew Tribe channel. My name is Divine. Today we want to learn how to make this beautiful kaftan gown with placket and ruffles. Depending on your height, you will be needing about 3 to 4 yards of lace fabric. So though you can use any fabric of your choice, but as you can see in that style, it is lace fabric. Now the measurements I'm working with, you will be needing about 4 to 5 major measurements: your gown length, your shoulder to hip length, and the circumference of your hip, your bust, your shoulder, and your shoulder to waistline, and the circumference of your waist. So please, you're going to take your own accurate body measurement. So for you to be able to use your fabric wisely without you wasting it, you're going to fold your fabric into 4. You are going to fold it into 4. After you might have measured your length, the length you are working with. So this is my whole length, this is the length. So you are going to fold it into 2. Can you see? I have folded my fabric into 2. Now after you might have folded it into 2 equal parts like this, for you to fold it into 4, I want to advise you don't fold it like this. Don't fold it into 4 equal parts, because you are still going to use part of this fabric for your sleeve. So this is how you go about it. You are going to calculate using your bigger circumference. And my bigger circumference, the bigger circumference I have here is my hip circumference, which is 42. Now the 42 you'll be dividing into 4. So if you divide 42 into 4, I should have about 10.5 like that. Don't forget to use your own accurate measurement. So the 42 you're going to divide into 4, and you'll be adding like 6 inches extra for ease of movement at the end. So 42 into 4 is 10.5. 10.5 plus 6 inches, you'll be having 16.5. So you're going to fold your 16.5 like this. Can you see it? Into 4. 16.5, you are going to have 16.5 folded in 4 places. Let me fold it and show you how it looks. After folding it, this is what you should have. You should have extra like this. So this part is what you'll be using for your sleeve. So I folded it into 4. Can you see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should have it like this, and this other part is what you're going to use for your sleeve. Now you can just go ahead and cut it out here straight down, so that we're going to remove the sleeve part. Let me cut it out and show you how it looks. So I've cut out this part. This is what we'll be using for the sleeve. So the next thing you want to do is to cut out this edge. It's very important. So you have this in 2 pieces. Let me cut it out and show you how it looks. So I already have it into 2. Can you see it? This is for front and this is for back. So you are still going to fold it back. I'll be folding it back like so. Can you see it? So, and you're going to fold this one too on it. It is important you fold it like this, so that you don't make a mistake when you are cutting. So I folded the front and the back like so. We can now go ahead and insert vertical measurement. So from shoulder to chest line is 9 inches. So you're going to note it. From shoulder to half length is 18 inches plus half for joining at the shoulder is 18.5. From shoulder to hip is 24 plus half, 24.5. So after that, you're going to measure your shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15. 15 into 2 is 7.5. 7.5, and you're going to add half inch for joining allowance, for the seam allowance. Now you're going to bring this 8 inches down here on your chest measurement, and you're going to note. So from there, you're going to draw your straight line like so, and after that that, you are going to measure this line and divide it into 2 equal half for your armhole curve. So you're going to do it like this, and you're going to connect like this to draw your armhole curve. I hope you can see it. So draw your armhole curve like this. Now after this one, now the next thing you want to do is to insert your bust measurement. The bust I'm working with is 40 rather. 40 into 4 is going to give us 10. So this is my 10, and I'll be adding, it's a form of free gum, so I'll be adding 1 inch for his and 1 inch for seam allowance. Are you still with me? So after that, the next thing I want to do now is I'll come to the waist measurement. I have waist 39, the circumference is 39. 39 divided by 4 is going to give me 9 3/4. So I have my 9 3/4 like this, and I'll be adding 1 inch for his and 1 inch for the seam allowance. So you're going to connect the two from up to the waistline. Can you see it? So we have it like this. All right, so the next thing you want to do now is to insert your hip measurement, and my hip is hip 42. 42 into 4 is 10.5, plus 1 is 1 inch for his and 1 inch for the seam allowance. So I have it connected like this. Now for ease of movement, and that is why we added the 6 inches we added when I was calculating it. So what we have here now, I will just bring it down like this so that it will be convenient when you are moving. So you want to use your straight ruler to just bring it down like this. I hope you can see it. So just draw your straight ruler down like this. So I've been able to bring out the shape like this. So the next thing you should do before you cut it out is the neck measurement. So the neck, for us to get that neck, I'll be using 3 by 3.5, 3 inches by 3.5. So for the front, 3 by 3.5, and for the back, I will be using 3 by 1.5. So use 3 by 3.5 for the front and 3 by 1.5 for the back. So, and for your shoulder slope, you measure 1 inch. I just believe you can see it. So you just draw it and connect like this. So this is our shoulder slant. So I just go ahead and cut it out. So I hope you can see the neck is the chalk is really blending. So because you cut the back neck first, so can you see it? 1.5, cut it out like so. Okay, please don't make that mistake. When you want to cut the front neck, can you see the way I'm lifting it up? Just go ahead and cut it out like this. All right, and you can just go ahead and cut your shoulder, and you cut the armhole like so, and you go ahead and just cut it out straight. So this is it. Let me cut it out and show you how it looks. So I've cut the neck. Now this is how you go about it to attach your placket. This is the easiest way I know. Now the first thing, to attach the placket, you're going to measure the length of the opening. So standardly you can use between 8 to 9 inches. So I'll be using 8 inches, but the length of my placket is going to be 11 or 12 inches. I'll be using 12 inches for the length of my placket. So I'm going to open it up to 8 inches here. So just go ahead and open. Make sure your fabric is folded equally. So you're going to locate the center. So from the neck to 8 inches, and you just cut it out. Now, after cutting it out like this, like so, I have cut it out. I've cut it open. So from the leftover fabric, you can just remove about 5 inches. I'll be removing like 5 inches of width from this salvage part. So you can measure like 5 inches, and this is going to serve as our ruffles. You can use between 5 to 6 inches depending on how wide you want it to be. And I'll be using the width of about 60 inches for the ruffles. So I'll be measuring 60 inches wide, 60 inches long and 6 inches or 5 inches wide. So let me measure it and cut it out and show you how it looks. So I've cut it out. This is what I'll be using for my ruffles. I have 5.5 inches and 60 inches long. So before you attach your placket, this is the very important part of it. You will be placing your fabric, the one you want to use for your scallop. You are going to start from the shoulder. Can you see it? So you are going to pull it out like so. We are still going to shape it out and cut the neck out. So the first thing you want to secure is the shoulder part, and you're going to use your pin to hold it down. So you're going to use your office pin to hold it down like this before you now start pleating. Before you start your pleating, so can you see it? The pleating face downward. So you just go like this and pleat it round the center like I'm doing. Can you see it? So pleat it round to form the ruffles. I hope you are following. Can you see it? Just pleat it down. So these ruffles, the longer the length of your fabric, the fuller the ruffles is going to be. So you can just go ahead and you make sure your pleats, all your pleats, they are facing down. Can you see the way I'm pleating mine? So go like that. So you have to do this before you attach your placket. So this is how you go. Let me pleat everything around and show you how it looks. So this is what you will have. I have pinned it down like this. So the next thing, this part of the neck, you are going to cut it out. So just cut it out like this so that you are going to have the shape of the neck. You are going to do so for the both sides. So, and you just go ahead. I will go ahead and sew it down with my sewing machine, and I'll come and show you how it looks. So this is the ruffles. I've been able to sew it down, and I have trimmed out the excess here. So you should have something like this. Now the next thing you want to do now is to fix your placket. So out of the pieces I have here, I'll be taking parts for the placket. Now the length of the placket is 12 inches. So plus half that I will use to fold it up, and the half that I will use to fold it down. So I'll be having 13 inches. So the width is going to be 4 inches. So for my placket, I'll be cutting 13 by 4. So let me cut it out and show you the next thing to do. So this is for the placket, 13 by 4. So you will need matching underlaying. So I'll be using this surface, and I'm going to cut it like this, and I will sew it around and show you how it looks. I've done this. Can you see it? The next thing you want to do now is to go and use your iron to fold it and the base of the placket. So this is how you go about it. You are going to fold half inch here using your pressing iron. Half inch, you fold it in, and 1 inch this side. Can you see it like this? And another 1 inch like this. So you have your placket to be like this. I have done that with my pressing iron. And for the placket base, can you see it? I have about 2 inches wide and about 10 inches long. So this is how you go about it. You are going to fold in half, and outside you will be having 1 inch altogether. So these two is what we'll be using for our placket. Now to attach it, go like this. So for female, the placket is going to be at the right side and the base will be at the left side. So the first thing you are going to attach is the base. So you are going to locate the left side of your gown. So this side is the left side. So you are going to go and attach your base. And how do you go about it? You are going to, from inside, you will, okay, to make it easy, your ruffles, where the opening, where it ends here, you can just open it like just small, like say 1/4 of an inch. Just cut it open like this. I hope you can see it. Just cut it open like this, so that you will be able to place your, from inside like this. Can you see it? You sew it like this from inside and you bring it out like so. Let me go and sew it and show you how it looks. So this is it. I have joined it from inside. Can you see it? Just join it straight. Don't forget to notch this part of your opening, the initial opening. Notch it like 1/2 inch so that it will be very convenient for you when you are sewing. So the next thing you want to do now is to go and sew it close like this. Can you see it? I'll sew it and show you what next to do. I've done this. Can you see it? This is how it should look inside. So you can just cut this one down a bit. Now it is time to attach the placket. You know, I said the placket is going to be at the right side. This is our placket. So by now you should have folded it with your iron. So you are still going to do it the same way we did this. Don't forget to notch this side, the end of the opening here. Notch it in like 1/2 inch so that it will be convenient for you when you are sewing. So you are going to sew it. This part, you're going to open it. You are going to sew it from the inside. Let me go and sew it and show you how it looks. I've sewn it down from the inside. Can you see it? So you're going to bring it out like this. Now this is the trick here. This base, when you want to sew the placket on it, you make sure it is not inside. You bring it out so that by the time you finish sewing it, it will not be showing outside. So just go ahead, and this one you use it to turn it over like this. Can you see it? So you can use your pin to hold it down. I've pinned it down. You can have it like this and you go and sew. Can you see it? Make sure this placket is resting like this, and this part, the part of the neck, should align. You start sewing from this part. Be careful when you are sewing so that you don't pick this part, but they must overlap like this. You need to check it to be sure you are not sewing it together. Just go ahead. They should overlay, but you must not sew it together. I can feel it with my hand. I can feel it. go ahead and sew. So I'll still push it in, because if it is not laying properly, it will not close firmly. You need to adjust it like this and just sew down. Be careful. Now you go down, and when you get to where you have the opening here, I'm almost there. I'm there now. Now you just turn it over like this. Make sure this is under. Can you see it? And you make sure you center this part very well. This is why it is good to use pin. The pin is helping me here. You come on it like this. You must sew on the base now. You must sew on the base. So just go ahead and sew it down. Can you see it? So, and you come down like this. So like this, you have secured the base underneath. I'll just sew it down straight. Can you see it? It's very simple if you follow it the way I'm doing it. So don't forget to remove your pin. You can just sew this down like this. Can you see it? And you bring it up back. So where we stop here, I'll just sew it down there. Our placket is ready. So let me just show you how it looks inside. This is what you should have. Can you see it? This is how your placket should look like inside. You know, I've been able to tuck in the remaining part of the base, and can you see it is laying properly? You can just go ahead and give it proper press. I've pressed it down. This part of the plackets, you can top stitch it as well. Just go ahead and top stitch. I'll top stitch it and show you how it looks. I've top stitched it, and this is what you'll be having. I love what I'm seeing. The next thing is to bring your back, and you're going to join the shoulder. I'll join it and show you how it looks. I've joined the two shoulders. Next thing to do is to measure your neck circumference. Whatever you have there, you are going to use the measurement here to cut a long strip that you will use to tape the neckline. Make sure you cut your the strip on bias. I've gone ahead to do that. Now to finish up the neckline, you are going to place this long strip from the inside. From this starting place, you fold it in like this, and you're going to sew it around. Let me sew it around and show you what next to do. When you get to the end like this, you are going to fold this part in as well. Don't forget to do that to finish that place up. Can you see it? I'm done. You turn it from inside out, and you're going to fold it in by ½ inch. Can you see it? To finish up the neckline. So you have this. Let me sew it around and show you the next thing to do. I've done the neck. I'll finish it up. Now go ahead and sew in the side, the two sides. You know, we added 1 inch seam allowance, so sew the two sides down, and I'll show you the next thing to do. I have sewn down the two sides. Can you see it? And I've gone ahead to sew down the hem. I'll finish it up. You just fold it in by half and just sew it round. So you can just go ahead and attach your sleeve, and boom, we've come to the end of the tutorial. So don't forget this part of it. You are going to do your buttonhole and attach your button. So I've come to the end of this tutorial. If you find this tutorial helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload new video. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.